What's going on, family? What's going on? What's going down? What's shaking? This is Jonathan Souls sci-fi novel review. I had the pleasure of speaking with one of the co-authors of Talon of God, a novel by Wesley Snipes and Ray Norman. I talked to Ray Norman a little bit ago. You go to jonathansoul.com and you can check out the interview. Go to my Twitter feed. You can see the little audiograms where I put out little clips or whatever. But I just wanted to give a quick review of this book. I usually don't read sci-fi. I promote it, but I don't read it because I write it. And I don't want these terrific writers to, what I mean, come in my head and, I copy that shit. But I got to tell you, if you like Blade, so Talon of God. So basically, it's like what you call a spiritual thriller. And spiritual in the sense that there are demons and angels and demon possession and people quoting scripture and stuff like that. And then there's also, this tall, dark, mysterious stranger on a motorcycle that rolls into town with a big sword, a big like magical sword. And then there's his counterpart, another tall, dark, mysterious brother, from parts unknown. But he's like his opposite. He has a sword too, and but he works for the dark side. And then in the middle is the city of Chicago, and this doctor named Lauren. I think it's Jefferson, definitely Lauren. So long story short, the way the book opens up, she's walking down the street. She lives in, she shares an apartment with a friend of hers or whatever, and she's walking, da da da. I think it's like late at night or whatever. And all of a sudden, in the alley, she hears some noises and she turns, and it's one of these, homeless brothers that she has helped in the past. Now, this guy, I think he might have been a veteran or whatever, I don't know, but, homeless brother in distress. And, she goes to help him. She knows her. They've interacted before, but for some reason, this time he doesn't know her. And all of a sudden, he's acting all strange and he's growling at her and he's, rah, kind of thing. And he's starting to grow and their fangs and the skin has become discolored and everything. And he's basically turning into this huge monster. Now, she is like off in the alley, off of the street, where it's not easy for people to see her. She's in a real bad spot right now. And this guy, now a monster, is about to jump at her when all of a sudden, this motorcycle pulls up. This brother in a long leather, it's wintertime in Chicago, so this long, leather jacket, hops off his motorcycle with a sword and stands in front of her and basically protects her, kind of a thing. And a battle ensues. And because, this doctor is so emotionally attached to her patients, she doesn't want the sword wielding guy to hurt the brother. So, he, whacks him with the sword like a bat. You know how they do. Remember Ronnie Kitchen? He turned the sword around. He kind of like that. So basically he gets the guy down and then he hits him with some holy water. And then the dude kind of like returns to normal kind of a thing. And the doctor, whose father is a minister and everything, real super religious type. She's not having it. Oh, it must be some logical explanation, blah, blah, blah. He follows her to the, so she rides in the ambulance with the people, picking the guy, because finally the ambulance comes and, she rides to the hospital. And the guy who saved her, we find out later his name is Talon. And, hence the title Talon of God. And so, they go on and, he watches her. He won't leave her side or whatever. And she thinks he's a nut job, but, he was kind of handy, whatever. And so next thing you know, more and more of these cases are coming in where, these people are like, hulking out, for lack of a better way. I just finished watching some Hulk. That's what I'm thinking. Just kind of hulking out on a demon tip. You know what I mean? Kind of a thing. And long story short, it starts to build up to a climax. There's like some drugs involved, and then there's this mysterious billionaire. And then, like I said, there's this guy named Lincoln Black, who is Talon's counterpart, right? So he's like the henchman of this super evil dude, who has his hands in the politics and everything. And then there's an ex-boyfriend who's a cop of the doctor, and he gets involved, and then the doctor has a little brother, obviously little knucklehead brother, won't listen. He gets caught up in some trouble. It's just this whole, all these little webs just forming, and so what happens is, obviously the brother who wrote this, Ray Norman, he's obviously a man of faith, and I told him during the interview, I'm about as atheist as you can get. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a magical Jewish guy in the sky or black guy, if that's your preference or whatever, kind of a thing. But the characters are written so well, and the action is so profound. So it keeps you interested. Okay, I'm gonna let you slide with all the Bible thumping. I'll let you slide, baby. But there was this one line that the boss, to get the boss level toward the end of the book, he said that he said hell is very far away. And he said, it's as far away from us now as heaven is above earth. And there's a barrier between earth and hell, and that barrier is death. I was like, oh, snap. That's kind of a dope cosmology kind of a thing. But of course, I'm not giving stuff away, but let's just say people trying to break barriers. So, you know what I mean? Not in a good way. So if you guys are kind of like Blade, the first one, and if you ever watched Constantine, remember, what's the name? What's your boy? Keanu Reeves. If you ever watched Constantine, if you ever watched Hugh Jackman's Helsing, then I think you'll dig this book. Talon of God by Wesley Snipes and Ray Norman. I actually got the hardcover and I got the Kindle because I read slow. And my little Kindle app will read the book to me. So anyway, check it out, grab it. I would say that there's no like overt sexuality or nothing in there. So, I wouldn't give it to kids, but definitely, older teenagers and stuff can read it. I would give it to my 16-year-old boy and my 18-year-old girl, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? So I think it's a good book. Check it out. It's on HarperCollins. Talon of God, people. This is John the Soul, johnthesoul.com. Peace.